October 19th, 2014, blue skies, very dry conditions, fairly warm. This is the start of the single speed class. We start about 2 minutes behind the 45 plus. Guys are getting ready. The course at Valmont Park consists of a very long, fast, straight start. Here is the start of the single speed class. Here we go. I happen to get the whole shot here. Kind of favors this type of terrain, very fast, very flat. So here I take the lead, going through the start finish of, we're going to be doing 6 laps in this race. So we're going to be approaching a transition into the backside, fairly gradual climb that under these conditions happen to be a bit on a headwind, so you want to be sheltered if you could. But I chose to take the lead here, and I basically favor this part of the course. You have two lanes here, both lanes fairly rideable. You're going to be approaching kind of the straightaway, and this is the back side of the course. And once you get past the straightaway, you're going to be making a 180 turn, fairly smooth, not too much to it, and you're going to be approaching a kind of up and down into like a rideable sand section. As you can see here, fairly rideable terrain. This sand section has 2 clear lanes, both left and right are very rideable from the earlier races. Hairpin turn into a couple of BMX type jumps here. A couple of guys were getting air, or you can simply kind of ride the terrain and catch some speed. BMX type turn coming up here where you can kind of hug the outside and carry that through some speed. We're going to be, you're going to see the 45 plus class coming towards us here. They started 2 minutes ahead. We're going to be approaching the 5280 stairs. Still leading the race at this moment. So here we are. Not too much going on before the stairs, so you can come into it with basically full speed. A bit of a rest here. Mounting back on the bike. You're going to be getting into a section of the course where a couple of turns, a bit loose at times, but not too much to it. A couple of little terrain variation here. I'm going to have my first crash of the race coming up on this turn while we're leading the race. We're bound. Down. 5 guys come past me. A couple of Gates guys. Mitch, Jesse, Will, my teammate comes through. Dan Porter comes through. Ryan comes through. So right now I'm seating 6th Will. 5 guys in front of me. All very fast. All very smooth and fluid. So I'm pretty good here still, despite my crash, where I can sit in behind these guys and just kind of follow their lanes. This part of the course, quite frankly, is so fast that really it was to my advantage to basically sit in, not try anything too courageous. Sand, bumpy sand section here. This part of the course, you're simply follow the lane, following the wheels in front of you. Not worth trying to. We're going to be approaching here the 2 entry pit. This part of the course, again, you can get to the pit from both sides. This is the first entry point. It's going to be followed by a 180 turn, very slow, actually loose sand here. Once you do that, you got to sprint out of your saddle, catch back up to speed into like again another fast section of the course. You have Jesse and Mitch taking turns at this point, driving the pace, and then you're followed by Dan, and by Will, and then Ryan McFarland and myself. At this point, we're setting a pretty high pace. I think we did about a 7:15 minute first lap. I think all of our laps were about. This part of the course gets a little bumpy. We're going to be crossing a single track with dirt, with grass. So it gets a little bumpy at times. We're going to be approaching the Belgium stairs off of a 180 turn. Choosing to take it pretty slow here to be safe. Same guys driving the pace. The Gates guys clearly have the numbers. So at this point, Will is sitting in great position in 3rd, just watching for what's going on, and also Dan sitting in 4th wheel. So smart. He played his cards so well today, just kind of watching things develop. At this point, we're going to be getting into a section that's fairly bumpy once again. A couple of little technical sections here, but not too much going on. Speeds are fairly fast. At this point, you basically want to suck the wheel in front of you before we approach the paved section again, because it gets pretty fast. with a bit of a tail crosswind, and you want to be right against the guy in front of you. So a couple of the little ups and downs here, hitting, going from dirt to grass and back and forth, and we're going to be making a couple of turns here and hitting the fast paved section on the back of the course. So here we are. Will here is going to make a move. He's going to go to the front and set the pace. Mitch and Jesse, the Gates guys, are right there to cover. At this point, I'm sitting pretty good behind the train here because clearly Jesse and Mitch are going to work to pull Will back, and Dan is right there just kind of watching things, and I'm pretty good at this point. I'm just sitting in, trying to save the legs for the laps to come. So this is lap 1 of 6 laps. If you watch to your left, you're very dangerous gate. Boom, right there, popping out right at you. Here we are. We're going to cross from this dirt into a bit of dirt section or grass, and into like a sweeping turn into the straightaway. So that'll be the end of the first lap. Right now we're about 7 or 8 guys. We have a clear separation to the rest of the group. Here we are approaching the final turn before the straightaway. At this point, all the guys are kind of looking back. Ryan doesn't know where I am. He's going to look back to make sure I'm here. Right, Ryan? Just double check. There you go. I'm here. Don't worry. So here we are. 5 laps to go. Again, tailwind at this section. Tail crosswind. Here we are. Lap number 2. I choose to go to the front here simply because I feel pretty good on this part of the course. So I decided to go to the front and set the pace once again. So I go past Dan here on the left. Excuse me. Will, watch out. Dan, or Mitch and Jesse, here we go. Watch out, watch out. Here I go. So I chose to go to the front simply because I can take my own lines instead of trying to be too aggressive following somebody's wheel. So, but Mitch and I are going to be trading spots throughout the race. Here's one turn. One time he's going to come by me once again. He's so fast, so consistent. He goes on the right, I go on the left. Both lanes are fairly consistent, very smooth. We're gonna be, I'm gonna follow his wheel up until this point. I'm gonna go on the right side of Mitch through the stairs. I put a bit of an effort here to go past Mitch. Once again, simply to be in the front of the race, coming down on the technical section here on these downhill turns. So I'm leading once again. Here's past the pit. Jesse goes to the front to set the pace for Mitch to give him a breather. I choose to go right behind Jesse. I prefer to sit second wheel versus behind Mitch at this point. Jess is so fast, so consistent, so strong. He always chooses good lines. So I think following him through this section is a good thing for me. Rest as much as I can, not too much effort. Simply trying to follow his wheel. Pretty sure behind me I have Mitch and Dan and Will and Ryan and so forth. So at this point of the race, we're simply trying to set pace. Nobody's really putting a lot of effort into creating a gap at this point. Here I am. One of my efforts, I choose to pass Mitt or Jesse here because I see some traffic, and it's going to be a constant story throughout the race is when we hit traffic. Unfortunately, the traffic did dictate some of the spots in the final lap. So here I am setting the pace, going through some of the 45 plus riders. 4 laps to go. I'm leading here, and I flick my elbow. Jesse comes by. Smooth. Will is going to be right on his wheel, setting the pace. And here we go. Mitch on the left side. He's going to make another one of his many attacks. Boom. Well, I feel pretty good here, even though Jess is not going to chase Mitch. I'm pretty good that Will is in a good position to follow Mitch's attack. So I'm sitting pretty good here. I feel confident in this part of the course. So Mitch has a bit of a gap here. And Will, well positioned, is going to make a move here to the right. He's going to go past Jess waiting for this traffic. And he's going to go chase Mitch down. Jess is just doing his thing. He's not playing, aggressive blocking or anything. So Will bridges. At this point, I sit pretty good. I'm just going to let those guys set the pace. Jesse and Ryan right here in front of me. At this point, Will goes to the front, past Mitch. So I have my teammate in first, and followed by 3 Gates guys and myself. So again, you don't hear too much of Dan, right? And that's going to be a foreshadow for the future here. 3 laps to go, I believe. I go to the front once again. The lead group. We are clearly defined at this point. Mitch doesn't like to let me race, so he comes, or to lead, so he comes by once again. So we keep trading spots back and forth. And we are, 2 to go, I believe. And I'm going to play my biggest match of the race on this back climb. With 2 to go, I choose to give it a go here. I look back, Will sitting right behind me, so I know there's going to be a gap as I attack. So I choose to go all out, and I go all out here past Mitch. He had led that climb, so I go all out, put a bit of a gap, and this is my chance. I feel like with Will sitting in third at this point, this is my chance to put a gap, and but didn't happen. And boom, here comes Dan out of nowhere. You don't hear about Dan, and on the last 1.5 lap to go, he comes by like a bullet. And here I am, Will, smart move. Here I sit on Will. Here we are. We're going to bring him back. No problem. But as you can see, there's a 45 plus rider between Dan and us. That's going to be a problem if you keep watching. Here comes Mitch. He senses the danger. He makes a move to bring Dan back. And so Dan is up the front. Mitch, Will, and I. That 45 plus riders is still in between. Mitch calls for the inside of this turn. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh no! Boom! Mitch is down! Ah, the chase is gone. Will is put under pressure to bring me back. At this point, Dan has about 10-15 seconds on us. 1 lap to go. Will done a great job helping me, but I have to go past him now and give it a go to try to bring Dan back. I did not look back at all. At this point, Dan is up front. He's about 10 seconds. Here's an injured rider from the other race. I don't know what's going on. I hope he's okay. Going around him. Really slow. At this point, Dan is gone. I happen to bring Dan back all out. I bring him back within 3 seconds on the back side of the course, but at this point I have nothing left. So all I have to do is just try to go do my best to hit him and reach him before the paved section, which I do not. So at this point he's gone. At this point I have nothing left. Tony, who you have not seen all race, playing very smart, played his card really well, comes past. I just happen to be on his wheel and basically have nothing left at this point. He's got me. I give it a go, but nope, nada. My effort from the last lap didn't pay, but I was going for the win. I got third. Well done, guys. Great race.